Isn't it crazy how news can come up within 2 days and so much can go on in the world within just 2 days? I did a journalism degree and I went to broadcasting school, so I can totally tell you that. In terms of the West Ham news, anything can spread within a few days, and it's usually the board's mouthpiece, Claret and Hugh, that spurt everything out. They are going to be mentioned in this video, in this episode of Off the Press. See what they have to say and more up next. The second ever episode of Off the Press. I only started this a week ago, but a week is a very long time in football. It's a long time in general. I can't even remember what I did last week, in all honesty. But in terms of the West Ham week, the last 2 days have been quite big. Well, actually, not 2 days, 3 days there's been news stories being broken. One concerns a transfer rumour that was gaining some ground and is now undecided as to whether it's going ahead or not. The other is a tribute to a former West Ham manager, and Sebastien Haller talks about his time with West Ham through an interview with TalkSPORT. Let me give my thoughts on these articles and tell you how I interpret them. There are suggestions that West Ham need a new goalkeeper over the summer, and yeah, totally do. I mean, Fabianski, we're reliant on him to stay fit. He's apparently 90% fit for the game against Leeds. Randolph's our backup goalkeeper. David Martin's third choice, and Nathan Trott's an academy goalkeeper who's recently gone out on loan. The rumours that West Ham need to sign a new goalkeeper started off with Dean Henderson, then Nick Pope, and now the latest one from Claret and Hugh, Sheffield United's Aaron Ramsdale. The argument here is that that's a massive drop in player from Dean Henderson to Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale is 23 years old and is still a very young goalkeeper, although he is likely to suffer back-to-back relegations, and this season he looks like he's going to do it with Sheffield United. Was relegated with Bournemouth the season before. He's sitting at the foot of the table with his Sheffield United side. Could be going down into the Championship. The thing with Ramsdale is that he's had one decent game against Liverpool, and it seems like we're already, as a club, interested in him based off one performance. I hope that is not the case. I really hope the club's not judging Ramsdale and thinking that he's mustard based off of one performance. They're bottom of the league for a reason, because they're conceding a lot of goals. One could argue, okay, Ramsdale doesn't really have a good defence in front of him. John Egan's injured and Jack O'Connell's injured. Okay, I understand your point, but Ramsdale is a huge drop in comparison when you look at Dean Henderson and Nick Pope. I'm not slating the guy at all here, just for the record. I'm not slating Aaron Ramsdale, but it's like one game doesn't cut it. A few games doesn't cut it. He wasn't really hyped about before, and he went back to Sheffield United because he wanted to return to the club and wanted to continue playing in the Premier League. Ramsdale, it's one of those ones where you really don't want the name to come, but at the same time, Craig Dawson had back-to-back relegations, and look at him now at West Ham. So it's hard to judge the book by its cover, but Ramsdale isn't really what West Ham should aspire to go for if they want a new goalkeeper. Go for Henderson and Pope instead, because they're quality. A contrary argument is that Ramsdale apparently wants to stay at Sheffield United, so I don't know who to believe here. But I read that West Ham were targeting Aaron Ramsdale in general ahead of the transfer window. My thoughts in brief are as follows. I've nothing against the player, but I don't understand how West Ham have gone from quality scouting of a goalkeeper, if you could even call it scouting, because we don't have that at the club, but quality goalkeepers and Dean Henderson and Nick Pope to Aaron Ramsdale, who's about to be relegated with Sheffield United. I'm not sure in the sense of that, really. But if he can come to West Ham, assuming he does sign, and plays really well, okay, I'll be proven wrong. We were proved wrong with Dawson after all, that's all I'm saying. Over the weekend, there was some sad news to break. It was that former West Ham United manager Glenn Roeder had passed away following an 18-month battle with a brain tumour. He was 65 years old. Glenn was initially part of Harry Redknapp's coaching staff and was promoted to first-team manager in 2001 after Redknapp left the club. Roeder took charge of West Ham for over 2 years. During that time, he signed players such as David James, Thomas Repka, and re-signed Don Hutchison. He was known for having a bit of a fallout with Paolo Di Canio, and that could have been one of the reasons why PDC ended up leaving West Ham in 2003. Roeder did not keep West Ham in the Premier League, and the team was relegated in 2003 with 42 points. Roeder went under another battle that wasn't just about football and relegation. He was diagnosed with a brain tumour in 2003 and had to take time off for treatment, so Sir Trevor Brooking took over as temporary manager. Roeder showed a lot of bravery, courage and determination to come back to his old job at West Ham and to be a manager once again, although his second time in charge after the recovery was quite short-lived and he was sacked in August 2003. Glenn also managed Watford, Newcastle United, Norwich City and was an advisor at Stevenage. A lot of former West Ham players and players who played alongside Glenn and were under Glenn's management have spoken very highly of him. Tony Cottee spoke highly of him. Trevor Sinclair said that Glenn Roeder always had time for the players. The Telegraph said that he was bloody-minded as a manager, but at least he kept the players grounded. He kept players on their toes. He got the best out of everyone. It's just who Glenn Roeder was. Although he got West Ham relegated, he shouldn't be remembered for the bad things. Remember him for his fight against the brain tumour in 2003 and then coming back to manage again. It showed a real determination from him. And from everyone here at West Ham and other clubs that he played for and managed, be it Watford, Newcastle, West Ham, Norwich, Stevenage, he will be missed. Rest in peace, Glenn. Sebastien Haller left West Ham in January to join Ajax. Since then, he's become quite a regular contributor for Ajax's goals and assists, and the team's chasing the Eredivisie title. Haller has spoken to TalkSPORT about his time at West Ham, and I listened to little bits of the interview. I have to say, the way he's spoken about the club is really positive. He, in brief, just admits that he wanted to play in the Premier League because, well, it was the Premier League. He didn't really feel a lot of pressure to shake off the £45 million club record fee, but he was frustrated that he wasn't getting the goals on a regular basis. It's a move that I think benefited both clubs. It benefited Haller in particular, and you have to think about the player in all of this. Haller's gone to a league where it's tailored to his needs more, a league where he can flourish better than in the Premier League, and it's showing statistically. He's been a lot better in terms of scoring and assisting since he joined Ajax, and he's got an opportunity to play in Europe next season. He can't play this season because he wasn't registered in time. Ajax have paid £22 million for Haller, which was a club record fee for them, and it's probably closer to what his initial value should have been. I'm going to have to stop myself there before I talk more about that, because the whole point of this topic isn't Haller's transfer value, it's not how much West Ham spent on him, it's the fact that he's talked about the club positively and that he admits things didn't really work out. He's still keeping an eye on West Ham. He notices that the club's fourth in the table in the Premier League, and he said that he wants West Ham to get Champions League football. He's got no regrets about joining the team, like I say. Really, it's a positive interview. It's all good, as far as I'm concerned. He admits that it didn't really work out for him. He had to leave just to get his career kind of back on track and to get a better and easier challenge for him, and that the Premier League was probably a little bit too much pressure for him. Not to say that he was a terrible player, but he needed to go somewhere that was suitable for him. Great guy. He's left on good terms. and fans shouldn't get on his back at all. It wasn't like he has anything to say against the club, nor slag it off. I'll go over all those 3 topics and give my thoughts to summarise. Aaron Ramsdale isn't exactly what West Ham fans want, but having said that, if he does sign for West Ham, he should still be supported as any other player should be. But I don't understand how West Ham have gone from wanting Dean Henderson and supposedly wanting Nick Pope to wanting Aaron Ramsdale. Is it because he played really well against Liverpool and was unfortunate to concede 2 goals? Sheffield United are bottom of the league because of bad defending, and Ramsdale's the goalkeeper, the last line of defence in other words. I don't think he's really what West Ham should be aspiring to have, but there is no denying that West Ham needs a new goalkeeper because Fabianski, Martin and Randolph are all over the age of 32. Their age ranges from 34 to 36. They're all getting towards the autumn of their careers. The Glenn Roeder news is very, very sad. I do remember him from when he was Newcastle manager because I wasn't old enough to remember him when he was West Ham manager. But a lot of players have talked about him in a bright light. It was unfortunate that West Ham were relegated, but he had other things to battle against. He had to battle against poor health and a brain tumour. It's very sad that he's passed away, and the footballing world has paid tribute to him. I put a tweet out on my account and also post on Instagram to say rest in peace to Glenn Roeder. The Sebastien Haller comments are very nice, and he clearly wants what's best for West Ham. Even though it didn't work out for him, he's admitted that in a way, and he wants what's best for his career. Ajax are going to give him what he needs to grow again. And although West Ham was a big dream of his, and all the West Ham fans wanted Haller to be that striker that was that world-class goalscorer, it wasn't to be. Good move for him, and I wish Sebastien Haller nothing but the best for the future. Sounds like a really decent guy who had a lot of time and love for West Ham. Thank you very much for watching Off the Press. I want to see what you think about those topics, being Ramsdale potentially being a transfer target, Glenn Roeder's passing, and Sebastien Haller's views on his time at West Ham. Tell me what you think below in the comments section, and I'll take a look. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. I may have another Over to You coming up this week, and I definitely will be doing Opposition Uncovered for the Leeds United game next Monday. Thank you very much for watching this video, take care, and I'll see you all soon.